it's Arwen. Welcome back to my Disneyland Paris travel diary. Today is day 3 and I am taking you on our final day in the parks. Today is just traditional Disneyland Paris and I am so excited to share our magical day with you. It's filled with attractions, shopping, Disney pin trading, delicious food, and of course Disney park magic. One thing that I wasn't expecting, my husband got into pin trading today, our 3rd day. It was so fun. I can't wait to show you all the things that we traded for. So today, before I start, I do want to give a short intro. I am back on the canal. I am going to see, there is a Biergarten that's open, and I am going to see if I can get a table and maybe share with you about my day there. It is colder today. It's, let's see, maybe 21 degrees Celsius, which is maybe 68, 70 degrees. And it's a huge difference because like 2 days ago it was like 100 degrees. It was like 35 degrees Celsius. So it's just changeable weather here. Oh my gosh, a little field mouse. Sorry, we're on the edge. Here we're on the edge of a protected area. And there was a little field mouse. He was so cute. Sorry, I couldn't get him on. He was really fast. So I am walking to the Biergarten. I'm not going to be drinking any beer. Although usually here, it's not unusual in Germany at lunchtime to drink a Wasser. That is a mix of half beer and half Sprite, so, or lemon lime soda, and that is really popular. It's also popular as alcohol-free version, but that's typical to drink at a beer garden. Usually it's great with the hot weather. It's very refreshing. But today it's just a little bit cooler. I'll probably get a coffee. That's my favorite drink. So let's see if it's open. So I made it to the Biergarten. It is open. It is open all year round. And it's actually got like a full menu for lunch. So a lot of people are eating lunch. I just have my coffee. Yes, so cheers. So we are going to start with breakfast in the morning. We were up bright and early because we didn't stay too late the day before. So this day was Tuesday. So the first day was Sunday, the second day was Monday, and our last day was a Tuesday. And so we grabbed breakfast around 7:30, and we caught the shuttle bus to Disney around 9 o'clock. And we're walking through the gates one last time around 9:15. So our mission was actually, the first thing that we wanted to do was shopping. We had been hoping to find some Disneyland Paris matching like top or jacket during our trip. So we went straight to the stores to see if they had anything for us in our size, and that sort of appealed to us. So I will show you that you will see what we got in some of the photos I will share throughout the day as I go through it. And will be including a travel vlog for like a travel diary for day 4, which was just Disney Village, and show you the merch that I ended up getting, including the pins, and of course go through all the trades, all the pin trades and all the pins. But that will be for day 4. So after shopping, we ended up going over to Discoveryland, and this was fun. Our first stop was Buzz Lightyear Laser Blast. It was finally open. On the first day, we had missed it because it was closed, and it was so fun. It was an interactive ride that made sense to us. Like it wasn't the 3D ride of the spider web, but you had like an actual physical gun, like blaster that you blasted lasers at targets, and so it was super fun. We had a really good time, and of course we competed to see who could score better. And the next that we went on was Star Tours, and that was with 3D effects, and it was really cool. We loved that. So definitely can recommend that. And the next thing into Discoveryland, which is Disneyland Paris's Tomorrowland, was Hyperspace Mountain. Now it is actually Star Wars Hyperspace Mountain at Disneyland Paris. So if you've ridden Space Mountain in California, this one feels totally different. It's got a whole bunch of Star Wars theming, and it had screens. So, but it was also a roller coaster that you got in and you pulled the handbar that went over your head and kept you secure, really secure. So that was super fun. Right after that, there was, at 11:30, there was a parade. So we ended up finding a good spot to watch the parade. It was called Disney Stars on Parade. And Disneyland Paris does this so well. It was so fun. The theming was great. The floats were gorgeous. And it was super fun seeing all the characters come by. I have some photos of that. Really fun. And that was only the first parade of the day, but I will get to that. After that, we ended up going to Fantasyland and Adventureland. We went on a Storybook land, which was really fun. I thought it was super cute. It was a boat ride, and it was fun. You actually had like a revolving area that you got onto before you got in your boat, and but it was like miniature scenes from different stories that were super fun, super cute. I love Fantasyland rides, so that was super fun. And then of course we headed over to my favorite ride, one of my favorite rides, Pirates of the Caribbean. So definitely went on our favorite rides again on this second day in Disneyland Paris. We've got some visitors here to the Biergarten, so it's going to be noisy for a second. They're coming by. Hold on. Looks like a work outing, so fun. Got their little wagon with beer, a case of beer. Here is actually really cool. This Biergarten, you can actually bring your own grill food, like your own barbecue stuff. You can also eat here, but you can also bring your own. So it's kind of fun. Looks like they're settling down. So Pirates is one of my absolute favorite Disney attraction. Doesn't matter what park I'm visiting, so loved that. After that came what might have been my favorite part of the day. This was so fun. We had pin trading success. We found a pin board with some great traders, including Figaro and Stitch. So I will show you photos of that. Super excited to trade for those. And that was in Adventureland. And then on the way over to Agrabah, where we had our dinner the other night, we found a cast member wearing a lanyard. So I love that. When they wear a lanyard, you know they are pin trading. And there I traded for a Snow White shoe, which was super cute. I loved it. It's one of those older mystery pin sets, and they're hard to find authentic ones of. And so I was super excited about that. I'm so excited about starting a little shoe collection. They also have it for villains. So I got my Snow White shoe, and I did get a Tinkerbell pin, so I'm super excited about that. And that was only the beginning. We did take a coffee break. I always need a coffee break. And so that was about 2 p.m. when we had coffee. And then there was another parade. That was the second parade that we saw that day. And this one was actually a brand new one that we hadn't seen. It had way more other characters. It had Mirabelle, it had Judy Hopps, which was super cute. It had Joy, and it had Shanty. So you don't see those characters very much. And of course the energy was incredible. So fun. Loved that. We didn't see those on because the weather was good. On Tuesday the weather was good. I was dressed in layers. So I had a short sleeve top on, and then I had a what is that? Those long sleeve jerseys, a Spirit jersey on, and that was fine. And So as the day got warmer, I could shed layers, and as it got cooler, we ended up getting a jacket, which I will show you, but I haven't gotten to that part yet. So something really fun happened after having coffee. We went at the Adventureland. The Adventureland has a trading post. That's what it's called. And so we went there. And my husband started getting involved with the pin trading. He started looking for cast lanyards. He started looking for pin boards and sort of helping me out, like, come over, they have that. And not only that, but he started picking pins out. That was so fun. He loves Minnie Mouse, and so I have a whole bunch of new minis that I will show you. I don't think he expected to enjoy it as much as he did, but it was super fun to do it together. One cast member had a lanyard with a 2001 FrontierLand mini, so like a Western style mini, and I was like, I don't know. I immediately traded that out because they had a big board. I will show you a photo here. It was similar to the board that I saw on Sunday at the Pueblo Trading Post. So it was one of those huge boards where they have categories of Open Edition, Vinyl Nation, Cast Refresh, and limited edition. So they had those categories, and you could only trade within those categories. And as I mentioned, you can only trade Disney Park pins or Disney Store pins. Disney licensed pins from like Loungefly or Pink a la Mode are not accepted, but they do. They're pretty picky. They do examine the pins, so you have a pretty good feeling when you're trading for something. So some of the pins I traded for are known as being faked, and I felt like based on the quality check that the Disneyland Paris cast members did, I felt like I was okay to trade for those. So I will show you some of those. On the big board, I did trade for a really pretty Disneyland Paris mini in a polka dot dress, and I also traded Bubble Wand. So one of my Hidden Disneys from 2025, I traded for Hidden Disney Baymax surfboard, which is super cool. I love that for my California collection. So yeah, I really felt like the pin trading magic was with us on our last day, especially considering how the second day was. It started out great with trivia, and then the rest of the day was no pin trading at all. So this day was super fun. I do have a view of the pin board. You did have to wait in line, so I was really happy that my husband was patient. Between and shopping, we definitely needed a snack. I did tell you our budget strategy was to have a buffet breakfast and eat our fill there, have a park snack during the middle of the day, and then at the end of the day, make sure we went to a restaurant to have a good meal. So we did stop for a snack, and today we had nachos, and those were really yummy. We had them before, so this time I took a photo, and I will share that with you. They were yummy and fun, and we were also able to find the matching jackets that we were looking for. So we ended up, like, my husband wanted a jacket with Minnie on it, and they only had like Minnie for, like, I guess it was unisex, but he didn't want us to both have the same one. He wanted us to have matching ones. So I have mine in white with Minnie Mouse, and he has his in gray with Mickey Mouse, and they're super cute, and they were super warm, so I was really glad to have them. It was sunny, but it did have a cool wind, so I was happy to wear that. And we accomplished what we wanted, which was to find some really nice matching outfits. We love that. And I have some great photos of that standing across from Big Thunder Mountain. So then we did even more pin trading. So we found another cast member with a lanyard, and I was able to get a Cheshire Cat that I traded out a Hidden Disney Bubble Wand for. And then there was another pin board with several Minnie Mouse pins, including a Halloween pin. I love it. It's got her Minnie Mouse with Figaro, super cute. And then I also traded out for one with a plaid dress, so a little Disneyland Paris Minnie Mouse with a plaid dress. So I will show you those. And every board had something different, so it was super exciting to look for fun pins. And I actually didn't do too poorly on my I did have my separate little pin board for Pingo, and I didn't complete a full board Pingo even with just 9 on my mini board, but I did pretty well. I filled it up. I will show you a picture here. I think that was the best pin trading day by far. After that, we decided to slow things down a little bit, and we went on a classic riverboat cruise. I do love that. That was really nice to go in Frontierland. You go around on the boat, and I guess that's Mark Twain's riverboat, and so that was super fun. A nice little break. They don't have a tiki room there, so there was no tiki room to go to. That's what we used to do at Disneyland as a kid. That was such a nice shaded area, fun to sit and catch your breath. But that was a nice break from walking around. And then after that, we went on Big Thunder Mountain. OMG, Big Thunder Mountain was so awesome. I loved it. It was one of my favorite rides from the entire trip. The theming was right on, and it was cool because it actually, like we figured out because we went on it more than once, it had 2 separate areas. It had the area where the goat was, like, you know, the goat, and it was a mountain, and then it went underground under the water, and then you came out on a separate island and you went around that mountain. So that was super cool. We were able to sort of figure out how that was working by going on the riverboat, and we could see that it was the same ride and that just traveled underground. So super fun, and that was one of my favorite rides. So as always, I love Pirates, I love Haunted Mansion, and I love Big Thunder Mountain. Space Mountain is also one of my favorites, although I like the more traditional one in Disneyland. So after that, we ended up hopping on the Disneyland Railroad, also a nice break. You can sit and see the park from there, and we took it from Frontierland to Thunder Mesa. We sort of were sticking around that area because we had planned to have dinner at the Steakhouse. The Steakhouse is a restaurant, a sit-down restaurant with service, and it was not a buffet, but it was a 3-course meal with a single price. It was a single price with a drink, 3 courses, which we went ahead and got. And it was enough food. It was definitely, it wasn't a buffet, but I was not hungry afterwards. I ended up going traditional. I went for a Caesar salad. I do love a Caesar salad. And then we had, I had steak skewers. I think we actually ordered the same thing, both of us ordered the same thing. And then for dessert, we had ice cream. They had a delicious ice cream sundae for dessert. And so that was a really nice way to celebrate our last evening in the park. The theming for the Steakhouse was really fun. We actually ended up we had a reservation again. I would recommend getting a reservation if you don't want to wait. That was sort of the easiest thing that we could do, and I really liked that. We knew where it was. We checked it out beforehand to know where it was, and planned to get there in time. And we were seated right away, and it was super cute. It was like a little saloon, like an old Western saloon, perfect in Frontierland, and just great steak. So always love that. And the nice thing is where it was situated is afterwards we were able to go on Phantom Manor again. I can't stress enough how much I love Haunted Mansion, and that is, I talked about that on day 1, where it has sort of a little bit of Western theming, which fits perfectly in Frontierland. And it had so a little bit of French and a little bit of English, and I loved it. Phantom Manor, one of my favorite rides. So after that, there was a final parade. There was a 3rd parade that we saw that day, and we ended up traveling from Frontierland through where the castle is. That's where the main parade went. Like it's like how you know a Disneyland Park, where you've got Main Street and the castle at the bottom of Main Street. And so we went across Main Street Way, and that's where we saw our third parade, and ended up crossing over to go to Discoveryland, which is the Tomorrowland of Disneyland Paris. And that, I do have to say that the last parade was, again, they had characters that you don't usually see. They had Miguel and they had Elsa, so it was really fun for me. And we had to go on Buzz Lightning laser tag again. That was so fun. I think we went on it 3 times by the end. We definitely improved our scores. I think I made it to level 3. My husband made it to level 4, but it was so fun. And that was like our final ride of the day. We wanted to go on something that was fun for both of us, and ended up making our way back toward Main Street. And of course, the best thing the thing that I love at the end of the day is to go down Main Street, go through the shops, and see what's like. For me, I don't really want to carry the stuff that I buy during the day, like the entire day. I would like to get it at the end of the day, just before I go home, unless I'm going to use it. Like the jackets, the sweatshirts, pullovers, we wore those during the day, so that was great that we got it midday. But everything else, I didn't really want to put it in my backpack. I had my full pin trading gear with me every single day, so my backpack got really heavy on my shoulders. The cool thing is, of course, we did one last round of pin trading, and on Main Street there was a cast member doing trivia. So this was actually, I did get a second round of trivia, and the question was super fun for me. It was, who is Geppetto's cat? Of course I know that. It was Figaro, and I got a Figaro pin, so I'm super excited about that. And I also got another Sorcerer Mickey pin. And we did check in the Emporium for a pin board, and they did have one. So that was like the last, right before we exited the Emporium, the last station, they had a pin board, and I was able to find a Disneyland Paris 30th anniversary pin that I took with me. I did pass, I saw they had some hidden Disneys with Orange Bird on them, and I thought, oh my gosh. And they were, it was an Orange Bird bus, so it was from 2026. That was kind of exciting, but I knew I had one waiting for me as a trade, so I didn't pick it up. But sometimes you have to make those tough choices when you're looking at a pin board. What do you take? What do you leave? That's like the hard thing to do, right? And the last thing we did was we took a look at the ear shop. I was looking the entire time for specific Disneyland Paris Rapunzel ears, and they had so many great princess ears. I saw so many different versions. They had like a Minnie Mouse unicorn ear. They had a wedding ear with ears with a veil. They had, of course, Pascal. They had Jasmine, they had Ariel, and they had really pretty Moana ears, but I didn't find any of the special Disneyland Paris Rapunzel ears that I was looking for. And after that, we headed home. We did not make it to the final show again. That would have been a night where they definitely had the show. The weather was good enough. The first night they had canceled it when we were there, and we ended up just not making it. But I will say about 9:20 in the evening, we caught the shuttle back to our hotel, and the cool thing is we caught it right as it arrived, so no waiting, no line. We got right on, and yeah, that was it. Back at the hotel, I packed my suitcase. I sorted out all my new treasures to be sure that I knew what I got and when and for what, so that I could sort of give you an idea of what happened when. And just thought about what a great trip it was. My very first trip to Disneyland Paris. Loved it. It was a great Paris vacation. Yeah, so our first Disneyland Paris adventure was over. I do have to tell you, don't forget, I did mention we did have day 4. We didn't leave that day. Some people do that. We booked 3 full days in the park. So we came, the day that we came, we were in the park, and then the last day that we were in the park was a full day, and so we slept in the hotel, had breakfast on day 4, and we're heading home that day. So I do have a vlog for day 4. I'm going to tell you all about the Disney Village that I went to, and of course all the merch for the entire trip and the pins. So do come back for the travel diary of day 4. And I just have to say, it was so fun having pin trading with my husband. That made it, like, that's the first time he's ever really had enthusiasm for Disney pins. That's definitely my love and my passion, and he was really like, he actually picked different pins than I would have picked, but I am not mad at that because they are super fun, and they have, like, not just a character that I love, but they also have that memory of being with him on that day. So really special. So if you enjoyed coming along with us, don't forget to like and subscribe, and do let me know in the comments which Disneyland Paris attraction would be your favorite, and if you've never been, what would you like to do to experience for the first time. Thank you so much for watching, and I will hopefully see you in my next Disney adventure. Bye for now.